Hi there, it's Abby King. I'm just responding to the questions in your questionnaire on audio because it works out a little better that way for me. So I hope that's okay. That's right, I did switch from medicine. When I left, I don't think I realised that there was such a thing as travel blogging. I had dreams of being a writer when I was younger, when I was a child, but I also had dreams of being a doctor, so it was two competing dreams really. And when it came to crunch time with exams and the like, it seemed more sensible to go and study a profession that I knew I could earn a living from, and then perhaps come to the writing later. And I forgot all about that for a long time. I was happy doing medicine, and then slowly but surely I remembered the dream of writing, and so at some point it just seemed natural to switch to writing. And by then, of course, the medium has changed, and so I do a little bit of everything really: magazine writing and travel blogging. I think I was inspired a lot by the books of my childhood. Lots of people having adventures, Tintin, Enid Blyton books, perhaps some wildlife documentaries. I don't know, I've just always had that. I lived abroad quite a bit as a child as well, so I'm sure that contributed. It just seemed like a natural thing to do, to travel and see new places, taste new flavours, meet new people. So it almost would have been strange if I didn't. I often travel alone for work. When I'm travelling on my own, I often prefer to travel with my husband or with my friends because it's just more sociable. In terms of getting work done, it's often better to be on your own, but again, just for company and for someone who knows what this strange industry is like, it's often nice to travel with other bloggers. And I'm very lucky that I've now got blogging colleagues who I'd now consider friends. There's so many amazing places. I suppose perhaps because it's more recent, I would really say pick Madagascar. The landscape is incredible with the baobab trees that just have those big, fat, swollen trunks and then spindly branches against a really blue sky. And the lemurs and the chameleons with their tails coiled round and resplendent in bright colours. It's got fantastic beaches and the people there are really, really friendly as well. So it's perhaps because it's more recent, but I'd pick out Madagascar for number 4. I'm actually sat in an airport right now, just about to head home, which is Cardiff. I'm in Dublin next week, and then hopefully Germany in December for some Christmas markets, and then into Finland in January. I have a few places I'd still love to visit. I'm not sure if 2016 will be the year for me. I'd very much like to see polar bears up in Churchill in Canada. I'd still love to visit Iceland. That's a big dream. Actually, so many places in the world are a dream once I get started. There's a lot of Australia I haven't seen. I'd like to go and see more of Malaysia, a lot more of China, India, and perhaps one day do a massive transcontinent route either through the Americas or from east to west, across from Asia and into Europe as well. So lots of lists, too many lists. Well, if you're looking for sunshine, then you need to get out of Europe. I'd probably suggest the Caribbean because it's fun, it's safe, it's sunny, and it's a great place to relax for Christmas. If you want somewhere really Christmassy, I once did a project on Christmas markets, and I was privileged to visit lots of different places in Europe, and I would say Salzburg in Austria or Nuremberg and Munich in Germany have some incredible Christmas markets, lots of atmosphere, lots of history, lots of great Glühwein, so look out for those for a city trip. I have rented cars quite a lot and driven around on my own, but not a camper van actually. Perhaps that's something to try one day. Some of the most beautiful scenery I've seen was on a rented car journey along the Great Ocean Road in Australia. Some of the craziest driving, but also beautiful scenery, lots of mountains and camels and madness, was in Morocco. And then a surprise one closer to home, for where my home is in Europe anyway, was from Dublin up along into Wicklow National Park. It's only really a day trip, but you can make it a longer one, and that was a great drive too for views. Well, I'm kind of half settled, I suppose. I suppose that's how I think it'll always carry on. I'm a person who likes to have a home base. The longest I've been travelling on the run would be 3 months, 3.5 months. I enjoy being at home. I enjoy having friends that I can see often. I enjoy being able to cook easily. There's just a nice part about home, and then after about 6 weeks I'm desperate to go travelling again. That's really probably the longest that I can stay in one place before I get itchy. So I would plan, hopefully, a life that continues to balance those things, but one that can also change if needs be. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. First of all, do it because you love the writing and the photography rather than the travel. If you're looking for a way to travel the world, this is a good way of doing it. You certainly get to travel, but there are easier ways of doing it. Once you've got that out of the way, I would suggest that you find your voice. You find the bit about how you see the world that is just you, and run with that, because that's what people will respond to and will want to read. You can't really compete with Lonely Planet or with TripAdvisor because they have so many more resources and so many more writers, but they are a little bit more constrained, whereas when you blog you can write whatever you like. Sometimes I put poems up, sometimes it's videos, sometimes it's long or short works, but it's all my sort of take on the world, so it fits. So that would be my advice. Well, let's trade up on the actresses first of all, yeah. Angelina Jolie doesn't look anything like me, but she's action, she's good acting. I think feeling alive. There we go. That'd be my cheesy answer. I hope that was good, and thanks so much for inviting me to take part in this questionnaire. Cheers.